Hello and welcome to another update video about FETCH.AI FET. Today a little bit red in the market. Yeah, we are continuing to sell off a little bit. Also, Bitcoin is currently coming down. I'm quite happy that here the Coinbase chart is back. That was frozen. Actually, I think what we highlighted and discussed in the previous video worked out. We are currently seeing that breakout to the downside, but hey, it's not a Bitcoin video. Yeah, FETCH.AI, yesterday only we talked about it, that we are in this very well-defined range here between our resistance for a possible B wave. I still see that as a corrective pattern here, as a possible B wave. Would change my view if we can break above 55.9 cents. But for now, my view remains that this is just a B wave and we have a good chance to sell off to the downside here in a C wave into the region between 33.18 and 17.49 cents. To eventually get upside again, it is important to hold the 17.49 cent level, because as you might know if you are a regular viewer, that the 78.6 Fibonacci retracement level is highly relevant. Okay, however, is there a guarantee to get down there? No. I would pay particular attention to the 40.5 cent level. This is the dotted line that you can see on the chart, and we are running in a tight range. I mean, it's not that tight. It moves up and down quite a bit. Of course, you can trade the range extremes. I mean, it's moving like 20% up and down here pretty much every day, more or less every day. But yeah, within a week, it's doing those movements, and that range gets more and more brittle the more often you see it hit resistance and support, because it gets more obvious. And at some point, when also the last person has realized there is a range to trade, that's typically when it breaks. But for now, in my opinion, the range can be traded. You can trade the range extremes. Just bear in mind that the longer this range is running, the more, let's call it, risky it gets, or at least the more probable that it will eventually break. And even if we go here to the upside, so the let's call it the narrowest part of that range here is between 48.6 and 40.5 cents. But even if we go here to the upside, it wouldn't necessarily be bullish. We would still be constrained within a B wave as long as we are holding below 55.6 cents, 55.6, yeah. Above 55.6, I have to assume that we are in a breakout. That we might already be here in this third wave to the upside. Maybe it's also only a fifth and this move up was never finished. We would then need to look at that. But for now, for me, there is still a bit of downside pressure. However, the overall trend is up. And as I said to you, as long as we're holding the range, I would rather focus on the upside. I would just be very much aware that this C wave to the downside can happen at any time. And I think it will happen if we lose the 40.5 cent level. So that level is so important to watch. But you can see that here we are making higher lows, and higher lows. And because we haven't really made a lower low, we can focus on higher at the moment, at least in the short term. It would just look much better with one more low here, but there's no guarantee to get there. These AI coins do crazy stuff. Yeah, and also here, this last low was bought up immediately, So it's really, there are a lot of buy orders set at these ranges, but if this breaks, then you can expect a lot of stops to be hit, and it might give it a little bit of a more of a selling, might increase the selling pressure. There is not much more to update. These are the relevant levels. It's just moving sideways at the moment in a tight range. You can trade the range extremes, and this will work as long as the range is active. At some point it will break, and now the relevant levels. And if it breaks to the downside, probably next stop will be 33.17 cents. There will probably be a little bit of a test here at around 36.6, which is the previous low here. Yeah, those two lows on the 10th of Feb and the 13th of Feb were in that range as well. And next stop to the upside, if we break above 48.6, which is the upper boundary of the range, is then the golden ratio at 51.5 and then 55.9, 55.6. So yeah, and also indicators aren't really helpful here in in a sideways range. I mean, we can look at the longer term ones, how they are doing. Let me go to the daily chart. So yeah, and here you can see that the MACD is still coming down nicely. Downside pressure is increasing, and that's why I think it is so likely to get that C wave. It would be my preference, and the daily MACD is currently suggesting that. Let's see here on the RSI if the 50 level can hold. That is typically a good support for the RSI and sometimes then also for the price. I think these are the key things to mention, to offer and to watch for. And also here on the daily chart, you can see we now have 3 red candles in a row. Now again, the daily candle today isn't over yet, but it might hint at some further downside pressure. But again, also here, no guarantee, and we always need price to confirm, which means we would need that break below 40.5 cents. Okay, that's my update about FET, FETCH.AI. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.